What's going on, guys? Relic42 here, and the gameplay you're watching is Halo 3 Team Slayer on the Pit. And what I wanted to bring to you guys was another community review in which I would share my personal opinion in regards to new IPs versus franchises and sequels. Now, despite the fact that there have been plenty of good games out there that come from a sequel or franchise, Uncharted, Halo, Portal, etc., I would much rather see a developer put their time and effort to use their creative ability to make a new IP rather than sticking with establishing a series or a franchise with a specific game. Now, it may be the developer's passion to continue making that game. It may be the publisher's intent to force that company to constantly create sequels for a specific game. Maybe the company like Microsoft or Sony has some input with that in terms of their exclusives. I just find that after a sequel, after one specific sequel, when you go into a third game or a fourth game and so on and so forth, I feel that it's more of a safe bet that developers are making, or publishers or the company. And what I mean by that is that game previously did well once or twice, and by putting out another game, it's a guarantee that they'll make a lot of money off of it because of, insert game title here. And I just feel like gaming in general has fallen into a rut with the constant establishment of series and franchises, that it's more about making something is successfully well rather than creating something, taking that risk and creating something new that gamers could possibly enjoy or hate. To me personally, I would much rather have a bunch of games where I can have or play, in new worlds, experience new stories, new creative gameplay experiences with friends or alone or however it may be. And just to give you an example, Ubisoft, I don't know how to pronounce it, but I digress. They announced not too long ago that they were going to focus on establishing franchises. Doesn't mean that they're not going to stop making new IPs, but they're going to focus more on franchises. And what that kind of puts in my head, it puts a sour taste in my mouth, and what I'm thinking in my head is, well, for an example, you got Watch Dogs and The Division being released down the line. Watch Dogs being earlier than The Division. And then what I just see from that is them making a Watch Dogs 2 or Division 2 and then creating game sequels upon that and not really doing anything much with that. Watch Dogs and The Division, from what I've seen, are both very creative in terms of Watch Dogs being that open world, using gadgetry to hack into systems, and The Division, that open world RPG, post-apocalyptic setting, experience with friends in which you level up, get new resources, trying to stay alive. Those both seem unique in my opinion, but then just constantly repeating that over and over again, I would feel that it'd be time for them to create a different game or publish a different game rather than staying safe. I don't know what your personal opinions may be on this. That's just my opinion on the whole scenario. Whether it be companies, the publishers, or developers' intent, to stay safe. That's just what I feel when I see it go past that sequel and then go into a third, a fourth, a fifth game. I just feel that it's time for that developer to create something new. And that game may play great. I'm not saying that all sequels beyond, or all franchises beyond the first sequel are bad, or play terribly, or have a terrible story, etc., etc. It's just, I want to see something new. I mean, I remember in the old days of gaming where there wasn't really any franchises, and at most it would be a sequel, and that's about it. And now, ever since certain games, I'll use two examples that you can relate with, Halo and Call of Duty, have become so successful amongst gamers, they're now being milked by the companies, the publishers, and I don't know. It just seems like a lazy safe bet to constantly dish out a sequel to a certain game that's successful rather than using your creative ability, because obviously you showcased that you could do it when you created that game, and going out and making a completely different experience. What I think that would bring is a more wide variety of games. I mean, games of this generation, there's a lot of first-person shooters. There's a lot of zombie-esque games coming out, or types of games out. And it just, everybody is sticking to their series, the game that they created. It did well, and they're like, okay, this is ours, and we're just going to constantly build upon this. It's not necessarily bad. It can be good. It can provide fun gameplay experiences. But at some point, you got to ask yourself, you know, is this really what I want to do as a developer, constantly creating this same game over and over again? And if that's what you want to do, then that's fine. And then some developers don't even have a choice because they're forced by their publisher or the company to constantly dish out that game. But that's my whole opinion on it. Let me know what you guys think in the comments. And for the rest of this gameplay, I didn't get the perfection which I was going for, and we're about to lose in about 2 seconds by 1 kill. I was kind of carrying my team, but what can you do? Anyway, I'm Relic42, and I hope we all have a wonderful day. Bye-bye.